Hello, BookTube. I thought I'd come to you with which, if anybody finds this interesting, a small series of videos. I've been, as everybody knows, I moved into a new place a little over a year ago. I'm still sorting things. I don't have everything shelved, and because I still need a lot of shelving, bookcases. And I've got a lot of paperbacks, science fiction, vintage paperbacks, and I have to move stuff around because I have to do a few things, and I keep moving them from here to there, and they're getting kind of damaged occasionally. So I've decided to actually, for the ones that are nice, and older ones, I've decided to put them in bags. But in the meantime, I'm going through and I thought, hey, there's some nice stuff here. And I thought maybe I'd share it with everybody else. And what have I got here so far? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 11, 12, 13 titles here. And we'll see how that goes. I'll show the book, talk about the artist, cover artist. I won't really go into much about the book itself because some of them I read a long time ago, and this is stuff that I've bought over the last 20 years since I've been in the UK here, either at bookshops when I did go to bookshops, or more recently in the past like decade online where I saw a deal or a collection, a few collections of the same author. So in each video, if I continue on, you'll see the same author showing up because I don't have everything collated yet. I'm still looking for items that I know I have. Anyway, that's enough preamble. We'll start. As I say, I've got some baggies here that I'll be doing. The first one here is When They Came from Outer Space by Mark Clifton. And that's a McFadden book. I do like McFadden books. Uh, and this was originally 50 cents. And it's number 5341 because they did number them occasionally for a while. And there's the back as well. I don't think I showed that. So again, just show it, get a nice view of it. This was originally published um, in, let me see. Well, it says complete text of the hardcover book. Looking for a date of the original public, 1961, and the first McFadden printing was January 1963, but this is the second printing, 1967. I'm not too fussed about paperbacks, whether the first printing or second printing or third printing. If I like the cover, well, first of all, if I like the book, then I want it. And if I like the cover, that's the second concern, and then condition. So yeah, and it's kind of interesting in here. It's to the science fiction editors who have been so encouraging, helpful, and patient. Anthony Boucher, John W. Campbell, H.L. Gold, Judith Merrill, Robert P. Mills, and Timothy Seldes. And this is actually part of a series. It's the last book in the Ralph Kennedy series, the sixth book, I think. And Clifton died basically when this came out, I think, at least in paperback. He died in the early 60s, I believe. And the cover artist, well, this will be a cover artist that will crop up quite a bit throughout these videos if I continue. And that's Richard Powers. I really like his stuff. It's kind of trippy. Sometimes I figure he had to have been on some mushrooms, I think, or something, because they're trippy at times. So that's that one. Now we go. Actually, there's a few here that I just recently got. Scott Danielson and I read Frederick Pohl's memoir, "The Way the Future Was," and I decided to. Actually, I was specifically looking for his Ballantine anthologies that, like, they're all original stories that he did for Ballantine, edited, and then I bought a couple collections. Also, we're doing the Heinlein reading this year. So some of them had some Heinlein stuff in, which I don't. I think that's the next batch that's coming. But this one had a couple Frederick Poles. I think there's a few Poles in the other one too. This is Day Million. Really cool artwork on here. Really cool, and it looks like a price sticker was taken off, and that's the problem. This is a pan British edition. The artist is Patrick Woodruff. Can't even pronounce. I'm looking down here because I've got the artists written down if I don't know them. And this was originally published in 1970, and this is the Pan edition. It was originally published in Britain in 1971, and this is the Pan edition, 1973. Pan books are kind of cool. They can be, and they're a bit old. This is, like I say, most of these are actually 60s that I'm going to show. I've tried to keep most of the stuff to the 60s. And then if or 50s and 60s, don't have a whole lot of 50s publications, but I thought I'd keep most of them. But that kind of looked 1960-ish to me, so that's why it's in this pile. Yeah, here we go. Here we start with the Star science fiction stories. Let me get them in the order. I don't have all 6. There were 6 anthologies. The first 2 came out in hardcover, and then there was a best of the best, like a Star of Stars, and then there was a Star short novels. So I have 4 of the 6 Star science fiction stories, and this is Star number 2. And as I say, this came in with a lot. There's a sticker on. I'm not going to try to take that off. That's been on for like 50, 60 years. So I'm not gonna attempt that, because even if it does, it'll take off at least a layer, or it'll be discolored. It's not coming through onto the back. But yeah, there's number 2. I'll go through the authors on these as well, because they're interesting authors. I want to get number 1 because it has a Clifford Simak story in it, but I haven't. I don't want to pay the price that I think I seen it at. So there's that, and then it's basically a wraparound. See if I can do it. Yeah, sort of wraparound artwork, and the artwork, that is Richard Powers again. A little more substantial for him, but I'm sure it's Richard Powers. Let me see. It's Ballantine Books. It's Star Stories number 2. First printing was 1953, and I'm sure there was a hardcover for this. And it says first printing here, and this is second printing, 1962. And the authors and stories is, we've got Disappearing Act by Alfred Bester, The Clinic by Theodore Sturgeon, The Congruent People by A.J. Boudris, Critical Factor by Hal Clement, It's a Good Life by Jerome Bixby, A Pound of Cure by Lesser Del Rey, The Purple Fields by Robert Crane, FYI by James Blish, Conquest by Anthony Boucher, Hormones by Fletcher Pratt, The Odor of Thought by Robert Sheckley, The Happiest Creature by Jack Williamson, The Remorseful by C.M. Kornbluth, and Friend of the Family by Richard Wilson. We'll see Richard Wilson again coming up. And most of I've read most of these stories that I can remember. There's a couple I don't remember specifically. There's a little editor's forward by Frederick Pohl in here as well, which the editor's forwards introductions are always really good in collections. But yeah, this is pretty cool. And at that time there weren't a whole lot of original anthologies of science fiction. See, this is pretty good shape. There's no creases on the spine. I'm more than happy with this with the condition of this. Oh, this is difficult getting back in. I'll seal them up after. That's why I thought I'd do the video. So then we got star number 3. And this came out originally in paperback with this cover. So, and it's not a wraparound, but there's the back of it. It says, with this weird collection, Star Science Fiction demonstrates once again the qualities that have made it outstanding anthology series of its field. And again, it's Ballantine Books, edited by Frederick Pohl. Originally 1954. But then it says first printing January 1955. So there might have been a hardcover for this one as well. I've never seen the hardcover for this one. So this is the first printing was 1955, and this is the second printing 1962. And what do we have in here? We've got It's Such a Beautiful Day by Isaac Asimov, The Strawberry Window by Ray Bradbury, The Deep Range by Arthur C. Clarke, Alien by Lester Del Rey, Foster, You're Dead by Philip K. Dick, Whatever Happened to Corporal Cuckoo by Gerald Kirsch, Dance of the Dead by Richard Matheson, Any More at Home Like You by Chad Oliver, The Devil on Salvation Bluff by Jack Vance, Guinevere for Everybody by Jack Williamson. So there you go again. And guess who the cover artist is? You're right. Richard Powers. He will show up a bit. He is somebody that I like, and I have a lot, so you might say that I'm collecting him, but not. It wasn't consciously. So there's star number 4. So I've got 2, 3. I don't have number 1, and so I got 2, 3, and 4 so far. Yeah, this one doesn't. This says 35 cents. The other ones had British stickers on, so somebody might have taken that off, or this was brought over by somebody. And well, again, that's Richard Powers cover. This is more very, very typical Richard Powers. He always does things like this, or not always, but often. Let's see, edited by Pohl. Oh, looks like there's somebody. Oh, the page is a bit floppy. 1958. So this is an original. This is the first printing, 1958. So definitely by this time, they were paperbacks. And what do we have here? We got introduction, Pinch of Stardust. That's by Pohl. Cross of Centuries by Henry Kuttner. The Advent on Channel 12. The Advent on Channel 12. C.M. Kornbluth. Space Time for Springers, Fritz Leiber. Man Working, Richard Wilson again. Helping Hand, Lester Del Rey. The Long Echo, Miriam Allen DeFord. Tomorrow's Gift, Edmund Cooper. Idiot Stick, Damon Knight. That's a good one. The Immortals by James E. Gunn. So there you go, and there's the back. So 35 cents. Yeah, a nice time. And then the last one I have is number 6. Don't think I have any more because I never had them before. I don't think there's any in the next one. There might be the novels one. I'm still waiting for that small collection to come. So we got here number 6. Again, they're all original publications. Again, Richard Powers cover, edited by, it's a Ballantine book, edited by Frederick Pohl. And they're advertising other ones on the back, which are kind of cool also. This one is, it's got a stamp, bookseller stamp in the front there. This is 1959, so again, first. And got to be careful because the pages could come out. Danger, Child at Large, C.L. Cottrell. Twins Whale, Elizabeth Mann Borges. The Holy Grail, Tom Purdom. Angelum, Cordwainer Smith. The Dream Man, Gordon R. Dixon. The To Catch an Alien, John J. McGuire. Press Conference, Marian Allen DeFord. And From Inner Space by Howard Koch. It's taking a lot longer than I expected, but I won't be going through every one so detailed. But if you just want to see the pictures, just let me know for the next one, or any of this detail. That's fine. And here's this Richard Wilson. I saw this, and it happened to be part of this collection, and I just thought it was a great title. Because I've not seen this book before, but it's a collection of short stories. So again, that's Richard Powers cover, like almost unmistakable. So yeah, Those Idiots from Earth, Ballantine Books, 1957, and it's short story collections. Those Idiots from Earth, The Inhabited, The Hoaxers. Excuse me, Lonely Road, Love, Honor. Those are two separate stories, Love and then Honor. 88 Bears, 266. Don't Fence Me In, Press Conference. It's Cold Outside. And yeah, 1957, For Margaret and Her Mummy. So his daughter and his wife, I'm assuming. So yeah, so that's a nice one. It's a little rough. As you can see, there's chipping at the top and the bottom. I think they're fairly expensive, really good condition ones of these. But as I say, it was a cheap collection. Okay, let's move on maybe a little quicker here. Now we got Star Surgeon by James White. This is the second of his books in Sector General. He was an Irish science fiction writer. I don't know how many books there are. There's more than a dozen, I think, in the Sector General series. But that's a cool. I really, again, I like Richard Powers. So it's a Ballantine book. This was published 1963. There's no other printings for this. Hospital Station, I think, was the first book, the first book done. So again, James White. Now we're coming up with 3 of the same book but different editions. Again, this was all part of the collection that a bundle, lot, whatever you want to call it. And it's got to do with Heinlein that we're doing this month, or this year. Now, this is The Green Hills of Earth, which I really love that story. But just look at that cover. Isn't that gorgeous? That is just absolutely fabulous. As I say, Pan really did well with covers here in the UK. 2 shillings. And the cover artist for this is Gordon C. Davies. And it's a collection of short stories. Originally published 1954. This is published in 1956 by... Oh no, actually first published in 54, Sedgwick and Jackson Limited. And this is 1956 by Pan Books. And so we got Delilah and the Space Rigger, Space Jockey, The Long Watch, Gentlemen Be Seated, The Black Pits of Luna, It's Great to Be Back, We Also Walk Dogs, Ordeal in Space, The Green Hills of Earth, and Logic of Empire. So that's just wonderful. That is just a wonderful cover. And it's one of my favorite, It's one of my favorite stories by him anyway. It could be my favorite short story of his that I've read. So now we got The Green Hills of Earth again in a series of books that I really like, and I don't have too many of these. I love the design. I've got one, I think only one other one, and it's sort of printed wrong, the way the cover went on. You can see it's cut off there a bit. So this is a signet, science fiction, and I do like the artwork on it. It almost seems blurred, but it's not. And the artist on that is Stanley Meltzoff. And signet. It says there's an appreciation by Mark Reisenberg in here. And this is first printing July 1952. Like original appearance, 1951, so it would have came out in 1951 in hardcover. So that's just beautiful. And another one, The Green Hills of Earth, by a British publisher that I like. It's just too bad it has some flaking there. This is Green Hills of Earth by Digit Books. They did some really wonderful stuff, but the quality isn't the best. Like, you would take your life in your own hands to read that. There's a good chance it will fall apart. And it probably has been read at some point, but gingerly, very, very delicately. So, yeah, this is 2 shillings. Yeah, 2 shillings. Digit Books. Don't know who the artist is. I looked this up. Now, they talk about that Davis, or Davis, is a signature here, but covered up. Now, the only thing that I can think of is Davis Meltzer. He did several covers for Simak. It's not really, doesn't look like his style, but yeah, so I don't know. It's apparently just Davis. This was published, let me see, Pan edition was 56, which I got there, and then Digit Books 1962. This is 1962. So, well, we're nearing the end. There's 2 more. Another Heinlein. This is the one we're reading actually in December. It's The Door into Summer. And I thought that was kind of cool. And I have no idea who the artist is. I looked it up and I couldn't find it. I didn't spend too long, but I just thought it was a wonderful cover. And it's a Panther book. Again, UK. Doubleday edition was published in 1957. This Panther edition published in 1960. So we got copyright in 1957, then it's got 1956 for Fantasy House. So I'm not quite sure if Fantasy House is Fantasy Press. I'm not sure. But yeah, so there's that one. 2 and 6 pence, so it's gone up. 2 shillings and 6 pence. Now, Frederick Pohl's one of his ex-wives. Judith Merrill. Again, this is a series, Pyramid Books, I think. Yeah, it's Pyramid Books. Yeah, Pyramid Books. That I really like, even though they cut down on the size of the for the artwork on there, but I still like their design. And the artist is John Schoner. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. I doubt I am. But yeah, I think this could be her last novel. It's awful early, so I'm not sure. First printing was May 1960, and this is the second printing, December 1962. And it was copyright, 1960, so I'm not sure And there must have been a hardcover of it. Excuse me. So, and I'm gonna go through. I've got her first book, The Shadow on the Hearth, in a British hardcover, and I'm gonna read her novels, and the ones with Cyril uh, Cornbluth as well. So there you go. There are 13, lucky 13. Well, I think it was one. Yeah, lucky 13, hopefully. Some vintage science fiction paperbacks. And if you enjoyed that, do let me know, because I'll just continue doing it. I could have from the 60s 80 books that might fit into this that are in good enough shape to show. And then I've got more from like the 70s, and then there's some from the 50s as well. So in total, I could, in a lot of British editions from the 70s, I could show probably over 100 books that are quite nice covers. So if you're interested in seeing these in chunks like this, and let me know whether you want me to cut out the prattle, and just jump in and just show the cover and say who the artist is and no other information. Let me know what you like, and we'll see how it goes. Thank you, BookTube.